A beautiful circuit, just look at that, high up in the Styrian hills, and a very relaxed atmosphere as well throughout the paddock. Generally one of the most pleasant Grand Prix weekends of the year, but don't be fooled, the action on the track today will be anything but relaxed. Turn up the volume on your televisions and enjoy the sound. Oh, we've got an aborted start. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Didn't see why. No one I can see raising that. Yes, they're on the right-hand side of your screens. It's one of the Toyotas, I believe, with an arm being waved. And everybody just rolled forward a couple of feet and then stopped again. And that is what you call an anti-climax.
Yes, they were triggered by Raikkonen. Raikkonen had a reaction to a change of the light scenario, but it wasn't the red lights going off. It was the 3 flashing orange for the aborted start.
3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. We've got another wave, yellow flag at the back of the grid. We're aborting the start again, I'm afraid. It's a Minardi. It's going to be Jos Verstappen, I think, at the back of the grid, and this is becoming a bit of a pantomime.
Come on, boys, get your act together. All you got to do is let go of a button. Surely you can manage that between you.
It is to matter again, you see. Something wrong with that car, and perhaps the race director might choose to ask him to start from the pit lane so that the rest of them could get going this afternoon. Let's get going this time, guys. Come on. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. No wave flags. Let's go, let's go. Yeah, let's go! Raikkonen does not get a good start. Montoya does. And you can see that Heidfeld is attacking Raikkonen. And Barrichello, it's exactly what he needed. He's getting around the outside. Is he? No, he's not. Michael Schumacher uses all the track available. Jarno Trulli has been very aggressive at the start. And the pit lane boys start as well. Alonso and Webber are in the race now. And this is a corner where a lot of things happen normally at the start. They're all bunched 3 abreast as they come up the hill. Trulli's right in the middle of it. Heidfeld too. Looks like everyone's got through cleanly.
Yes, and Raikkonen had a very poor start, had to move around the racetrack a lot to hold everybody back that he could, and it looked as if Barrichello would clear him too. So Raikkonen the big loser then, Montoya the winner, and all hell let loose in the middle of the pack.
Very bold move there by Pitsonia. He made up at least 2 places there. In the green Jaguar, you can see he's right behind Nick Heidfeld, up into 7th place for Antonio Pitsonia, who started 9th on the grid. Nice move. There's Jos Verstappen. Well, he had a gearbox problem yesterday during the qualifying session. I wonder whether, because he kept the same gearbox, I wonder whether that's the problem here, but he looks like he's in a bit of a dicey place.
Safety car has been deployed because of Verstappen's car not being able to be cleared out of the way.
Now Michael has dropped the throttle. Montoya has got a good run at him though, down to the final corner. He's not allowed to pass, of course, until they cross the start-finish line. Then he can try and make a move. But has he got enough drive out of the final corner? It's not bad. He's right up behind the world champion. We're green flag racing here at Zellbeck. Is Montoya going to try and do him into turn 1? No, he's not. Anybody else having to go into the first corner? No. So, Michael Schumacher leads. Montoya 2nd. Raikkonen 3rd. 4th, Barrichello. 5th, Heidfeld. 6th, Pitsonia. 7th, Trulli. 8th, Button. 9th, Ralf Schumacher. And 10th, Fisichella.
Yes, the drivers that have raced a lot in America always get it together on these restart situations. They're so used to the yellow flag scenario, but Montoya didn't have enough speed to do anything about Michael Schumacher.
Some good scraps in the field at the moment as Raikkonen runs a little bit wide out of the final corner, possibly offering a little opportunity there to Rubens Barrichello, who's closing, but not by enough. The straight not quite long enough for Rubens Barrichello to do anything about it. But some good scraps, as you can see, throughout the field there, looking at the timings. Heidfeld, Pitsonia, Trulli is a pretty decent scrap for 5th place. And there's another one going on between Button and Ralf Schumacher for 8th place. A little bit further back, Coulthard is crawling all over the back of Furman, but can't get past him in the battle for 12th.
There then is what is often referred to as the oil flag. What it actually means is something slippery on the track, something either debris, gravel, oil, or in this case, water.
Yep, coming from the heavens, water. Michael Schumacher, as we've seen him do once or twice in the past, running wide there, slipping on the rain, and there'll be a lot of thinking going on now. How long's this rain going to last? Do we need to switch tyres? How long can we stay out on the slicks? The lap times, Schumacher's 1.5 seconds slower on that last lap than he was the lap before.
This is Michael Schumacher, your race leader, in the Rindt curve, and he's carrying on because he doesn't need fuel and he knows it's not wet enough for the intermediate, so just make the best of a bad job. The yellow light was flashing at the top of the hill. That's a replay of Trulli. He recovers and gets back onto the racetrack. I don't know why the yellow lights were still flashing up at turn 1, because that happened some time ago, and it's a replay you're seeing here. Nonetheless, Schumacher leads now by 7.1 seconds and was 4 seconds slower than Montoya on that previous lap.
Oh, look at this. This is Coulthard attacking the back of Trulli. That's the fight for 7th place, and it looks to me as though Coulthard is more confident with his car, Martin, at the moment.
Yeah, Coulthard is lapping a lot faster than Trulli. Trulli's already been off the racetrack. Montoya, we hear from the F1 ITV pit crew, is telling the Williams pit that it stopped raining up at turn 2, so maybe the worst is over of this little moment. Schumacher's lead down to 3.8 seconds. He lost another 3 seconds last time around. And isn't it great when it rains? It always throws a double six somewhere.
It does. It's thrown a double six in the favour of Juan Montoya. He's only 3 seconds behind Michael Schumacher now as one of the cars dives into the pit lane. It's Trulli. He didn't look very comfortable, frankly, out there, did he?
There's another set of well-scrubbed Bridgestones ready to go on that Ferrari.
Well, that's very interesting. As you say, the paddock was wrong. They believed that Rubens was on a different strategy, one that involved him running a little bit longer. So that puts Michael's qualifying time, and the fuel hose isn't attached. That's going to cost Rubens a lot of time. Look at this, already 13 seconds, but it certainly puts Michael Schumacher's qualifying performance yesterday in some perspective. If Barrichello was lighter, that really does show how quick Schumacher was yesterday.
2 fuel hoses ready for this Ferrari, just in case. Ted.
Let's keep a very close eye on those fuel hoses. Yeah, it goes on. This time it's fine. Michael Schumacher, he gets all the luck, doesn't he? This time, oh no, they
it's on
are
fire!
no,
It's on fire!
It's difficult. They can't. It's exactly the same problem.
It's on fire, Ted! The car's on fire. We haven't seen this for years, since the big fire of the Benetton of Jos Verstappen and Michael Schumacher. What's he going to do?
Send it out, no problem. There's only a bit on the surface, that's fine, but it cost him 12 seconds.
It must have been a frightening moment for the refueler, mustn't it? Look, staring down at flames, knowing you're pumping 12 litres of fuel per second into the flames.
Yeah, but it's unusual that it caught fire. Where did it get the spark from to catch fire? I mean, the exhausts are running red hot underneath that engine cover. Oh. And of course, as we know, they top exit the exhaust now, but they're still probably best part of a metre away. Michael's sitting there remarkably calmly. I think I might have been tempted to jump out of that, but he didn't.
Montoya, there he is, race leader, not won a Grand Prix since September 2001. Is this going to be his day? Due to a bit of misfortune for Michael Schumacher. He's 3 seconds ahead of Kimi Raikkonen in 2nd place. Michael Schumacher is 3rd, 4 seconds behind Montoya. 4th Button, 5th Barrichello, 6th Alonso. What a race he's having. 7th Ralf Schumacher, 8th Heidfeld, and 9th Justin Wilson. Mark Webber has made a stop, and you can see at the front there's a battle here between Barrichello and Raikkonen, and Barrichello comes out of him, and Montoya's blown his engine. I don't believe it. What rotten luck for him and for BMW Williams. Well, there's been a lot of pressure applied by BMW recently on Williams for not being up to snuff in the chassis department. I think there'll be some fingers whacked by Williams at BMW for this failure here this afternoon. But there's a tremendous scrap at the front between Raikkonen and Barrichello.
No, Schumacher, it's Michael Schumacher. He now leads the Grand Prix. While we were watching Montoya lunge his engine, unfortunately for Raikkonen, he was out-braked into turn 2. Schumacher getting the run round the outside and took the Grand Prix lead. And we know he's a bit light on fuel because they set fire to half of it. But Schumacher retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. Montoya clearly out. Raikkonen maintains 2nd. Jenson Button will go up into 3rd place. He's 17 seconds behind Raikkonen last time around.
You know, it shows Williams got a lot of potential. We are going in the right track. I want to thank everybody at BMW and Williams. They've done a fantastic job. And they gave me a great car, and you know, we used it the best we could until it broke.
You'd had a bit of luck, but do you think you could have kept at the front till the end of this race? Is this a win that you've lost?
Yeah, the front tire is starting to come back, and my pace is starting to go quicker. And they were still not clean completely, the front tires, so there was quite a lot of potential there.
Thanks, Pablo.
is today going to be the story of a recovery from a pit stop fire still to win the Grand Prix? Not if Kimi Raikkonen's got anything to do with it. He's faster on that last lap by almost a second than Michael Schumacher, and is now within 2 seconds of the race leader. There's the scrap between Jenson Button, who's having a tremendous afternoon in the BAR, and Rubens Barrichello in the second Ferrari.
Rubens is just about close enough to have a bit of a desperate dive somewhere. I'd be surprised if he does, but he did. And really an easy pass by the looks of it. Really caught the tail end of it. But he did take that dive, and he did make it stick. I'd like to see a replay of that one.
And who's on the tail of them? Fernando Alonso. There he is in the Renault. Started from the back of the field. In fact, started from the pit lane. He, of course, benefited from the safety cars.
Michael Schumacher lapping in the 8s, and Rubens, it was brave, it was late, and really he relied totally on Jenson, saying, okay, I think I'll yield this one to you. This is a pass. This is Coulthard passing Heidfeld. That was then for 8th and still is for 8th place. Heidfeld, as I said to you, has been misfiring. I don't believe that was the car I heard that was sick. Alonso finally pits then from 5th position. Here we have a Jordan fending off something. Didn't really get too good a view of what was going on there. It was a Jaguar of Webber, wasn't it? And having a good ding-dong battle then for, down there in 9th and 10th place.
Yeah, Pitsonia and Fisichella it is. The battle for 9th and 10th. Webber is in 11th, just behind them as well, having started from the pit lane this afternoon.
Can Button get his first ever podium position? And there is a Renault spun off at the top of the hill. Which one is it?
Oh, I think it might be Alonso. It is. I was just about to say that with Ralf Schumacher, with Coulthard, Villeneuve in front of him, and Button all having to pit again, this could be a very good day for Fernando Alonso, who started from the back of the grid, because he looked as though he might even get 5th place. There's one of the Ferraris running wide, Michael Schumacher.
There's oil on the track, something on the track. Look, they're all struggling. So I would either we think Heidfeld may have blown up, or of course the Renault may have spun on its own oil. That does happen if the engine seizes up. You do tend to spin in your own oil, or certainly with your rear. And look, there's a trail of fluid coming from underneath that Renault.
Well, Michael Schumacher currently lapping in the mid 1:10 range, which is about the pace that Kimi Raikkonen is doing, with about 15 laps to go, as you can see here in Austria. And Rubens Barrichello going about a second a lap faster because he can. And I think, Martin, just winding back the clock a few laps to that period when Michael Schumacher was trying to make the great escape, putting in laps in the 1:08 range, we were talking in Spain and since about whether or not this new Ferrari really was the real deal, whether it really was a step forward in performance. And it seems that when he needed it, obviously a bit came from himself, but Michael Schumacher found some speed in that car, which I'm sure we'll be talking about for years to come. This is lap 58. And you can see Villeneuve, who had problems in the pit lane. There's a big lock-up for Ralf Schumacher there.
And Coulthard is only 4.3 seconds behind, and surely will take over that position. Where's Coulthard?
There.
He goes through. Coulthard passes Ralf Schumacher. He said he had a lot of understeer, and with understeer comes a problem of braking. You need that grip. Your front tyre's got to slow the car down, suspend the car, and turn it into the corners and brake. Not all at the same time, of course, but occasionally at least 2 of those functions. And look, this is what happens. He looks at brake. 60% of your braking energy goes through the front tyres. The weight transfers forward. You rely heavily on that amount of grip at the front, and therefore you don't slow down properly, and that allows Coulthard to sneak through. Villeneuve was not in that for position.
As you can see, the scrap here between these two drivers. Trulli on the inside, Pizzoni on the outside.
And that's for the final World Championship point at the moment. Pitsonia desperately would like to score that this afternoon. Raikkonen under pressure. Barrichello with a very fast car underneath him.
And remember, we have a situation in Formula 1 where it's localised yellow flag, so it's just the area around turn 2 where Barrichello would not be allowed to pass Raikkonen at the moment whilst they're clearing away Fisichella's car. The rest of the circuit is fair game. He can pass him anywhere else. He finds an opportunity, but finding it, that's the hard part.
Well, I'm just looking at the computer here, James. There are 4 speed traps around this racetrack that have been in play all through the Grand Prix, and comfortably first and second in all 4 of them. Michael first, Rubens Barrichello second in all 4 of the speed traps. So we know if he gets a bit of a slingshot behind that McLaren, surely Barrichello can go through. Not close enough yet, but he's shaping up nicely.
Look how close Barrichello is now.
Barrichello's got the better car under braking, the faster car in a straight line. Raikkonen's got the better car in traction, and he has a better technique on the exit of turn 1 if that last lap, or this current lap, was anything to go by. So it's really, Barrichello's going to have to get better in turn 1, because surely he can outbrake him into turn 2.
Ferrari will be asking a lot of questions about the refuelling rigs here this weekend after delays for Barrichello and fires for Michael Schumacher. 3 to go. Can he do it?
Yes, I wouldn't want to be working it into technique tomorrow morning. There'll be some fireworks, probably the wrong expression actually. There'll be some action around there while they try to work out what went on with the Ferrari refuelling rigs. Having said that, if they end up with a 1-2, they can't complain too much, can they? And now Barrichello really is in the slipstream, and Raikkonen has to go defensive, takes a good line. Can he keep it tight on the exit, or will Barrichello get a slingshot? Raikkonen still has the racing line into the Lauda curve. How far ahead of him is Barrichello? Not far enough is the answer. Raikkonen then placed his car nicely. Barrichello has the faster car, Raikkonen has the wider one.
And he had the track position where it mattered. He kept the inside line into the left-hander, and Barrichello just couldn't go around the outside.
2 laps to go then. Michael Schumacher 8.6 seconds clear of this battle that is homing in to lap Ralf Schumacher, and usually it's the second place man that benefits from something like that. So Barrichello positioned nicely. Raikkonen can use the slipstream. No, he doesn't have to. Unfortunately for him, Ralf pulled clean out of the way. Raikkonen snatches a break. Can he keep it on the island? Yes, he can. And Rubens then running out of opportunities, James.
He is. At the end of this lap, he'll have only 1 more lap to go. This really has got everybody standing up in the grandstands around here. Kimi Raikkonen, well, he learned an awful lot about not making mistakes and throwing away leads at the French Grand Prix last year when he made a little bit of a slip and Michael Schumacher got him. He was kicking himself after that race. Anyway, it's all downhill for Michael Schumacher from here. Literally, he can coast to the finish, and he goes through to win an incredible Grand Prix in Austria. And the great escape has come true for Michael Schumacher. Kimi Raikkonen finishes second and maintains his World Championship lead. Rubens Barrichello could do nothing about him in 3rd place. And what a story here this afternoon. Terrific driving by this guy, Kimi Raikkonen. He didn't have the fastest car, but he managed to hold on. Well, this may well be the last Austrian Grand Prix, who knows? If it is, it'll be remembered for possibly Michael Schumacher's greatest ever recovery drive. They'll remember it as the Great Escape.
I don't think there's much to say. Everything has been shown on TV, I guess, and I guess the mechanics felt I was a little bit too cold and cool and wanted to warm me up. Anyway, I thought they did a great job under the circumstance to still control everything, and the car kept surviving. I had a little doubt for a moment whether we had a problem or not for that fire and how serious it was, but the car worked obviously very well. We were able to do very fast lap times to secure the margin we needed for the strategy.